I built a tower so powerful. Elon Musk told me I shouldn't. The Nevada desert stretched endlessly in every direction, silent, dry, and bathed in merciless sunlight. There were no roads, no towns, no cell service. Just sand, heat waves, and a single structure rising from the earth like it had no business being there. It was colossal. Metallic. Alien. Nobody knew it existed. Not the press. Not the government. Only a handful of engineers, a few drone operators, and one man who had built an empire on chaos, kindness, and spectacle, MrBeast. Jimmy stood at the base of the tower, looking up, his hands on his hips like a mad inventor admiring a Frankenstein creation. The tower hummed quietly, vibrating with energy no one could yet explain. It was a Tesla tower. Built in secret over 94 days using blueprints inspired by Nikola Tesla's abandoned work, this modern recreation was capable, on paper, of transmitting energy wirelessly across miles. Not just lighting bulbs, but charging cars, homes, even powering cities. It had no wires. It had no cords. It pulled electricity straight from the atmosphere like magic. And MrBeast wanted to give it away. One person, he said into the camera, is going to win free electricity. For life. No bills. No meters. Just power. But there was one catch. Elon Musk didn't approve. A month before, in a private thread MrBeast had posted publicly, for fun, Elon had responded with a cryptic message. "You're playing with something bigger than you think." Jimmy thought it was a joke. Until Elon showed up. On the morning of the challenge, before the live stream, before the countdown, before the first drone lifted into the sky, a white Tesla Model X pulled up to the tower. The doors hissed open, and out stepped Elon Musk in sunglasses and a smirk. "Jimmy," he said, "this tower shouldn't work. But it does. So let's play." 12 contestants had already arrived. Randomly selected subscribers flown in from around the world. No one knew what the challenge would be. No one had packed for the desert. They stood in awe, some still jet-lagged, staring at the towering machine and the two men now shaking hands before it. This wasn't a game anymore. It was a circuit of survival. The massive steel gates of the Tesla tower groaned open like the jaws of a sleeping giant. Dust rose from the desert floor as 12 contestants stood side by side, staring into the glowing corridor ahead. The temperature dropped instantly. A cold blue glow illuminated their faces. The air buzzed, not metaphorically, but literally, with static energy. Inside, the tower wasn't just a structure, it was alive. Rows of metallic walls pulsed with electricity. LED lines snaked up the walls like veins, dancing to an invisible rhythm. A low-frequency hum filled the corridor, just loud enough to rattle your teeth. Each contestant was handed a wearable Tesla-branded wristband by a silent AI drone. No instruction. No explanation. Just the blinking light and the countdown. "Welcome," the drone finally said in a female voice, eerily calm. "This is Circuit 1. You have 10 minutes to complete the path. Do not touch the floor." The drone disappeared into the shadows. That was it. Jimmy watched nervously from the control room. Beside him, Elon leaned forward with a grin, sipping a protein shake like he was watching a casual Tuesday soccer match. "You made it harder, didn't you?" Jimmy asked. "I didn't make anything," Elon replied. "The tower did." The contestants entered single file. The first section looked deceptively simple, a series of floating platforms, like giant metallic lily pads, stretched over a glowing floor. But as the first contestant jumped to the second platform, the lights flickered, and the floor beneath pulsed with electricity. He flinched, slipping slightly. "That floor isn't virtual," Jimmy muttered. "It's real current." Elon didn't answer. His eyes were on the screen. One by one, the contestants made their way across. Some balanced with grace, others with shaky panic. The wristbands beeped every 30 seconds. A contestant from India, Raj, crouched on his third jump, realizing the platforms weren't static, they moved. With every leap, the timing had to shift. If they hesitated, the next pad drifted out of reach. It's mapping their steps, Elon whispered, more to himself. It's learning. Halfway through, a contestant named Lila froze. She was on platform 4 of 7. The next pad had moved just beyond her reach. The glowing floor below her sparked gently, non-lethal, but enough to stun. She looked back. No way to go. Looked forward. Too far. Looked up, nothing but a high ceiling and the quiet hum of voltage. And then the room changed. The entire space darkened for 3 seconds. When the lights came back, the platforms were repositioned. Now, Lila was alone on a floating pad in the dead center of a spinning circuit. The system had isolated her. "Did you do that?" Jimmy barked. "Nope," Elon said calmly. "I think the tower likes to test hesitation." The clock read 2:03 remaining. Lila closed her eyes and jumped. She missed. A flash of light surged through her wristband, stunning her mid-air. She fell, only about 2 feet, but enough to roll onto the electrified floor. Sparks danced around her as the AI drone flew in, grabbing her by the vest and dragging her off-screen. The feed cut. The other contestants, shaken, moved faster. When all had cleared the circuit, the next door opened automatically. Only 10 remained. They walked into the second chamber. This one had no platforms. Just a dark room, and a massive touch screen covering the entire wall. "Speak the truth," the AI's voice echoed. "Lie and you go back." Jimmy sat up. "What is this?" Elon smiled. "Now the tower wants to know them." Each contestant had to step forward. A question would appear. If they answered truthfully, the door opened. If they lied, their wristband turned red, and the AI would push them back through the floor they just crossed. Raj stepped forward. Question. "Have you ever betrayed someone you loved?" He blinked. There was no pause button. No edit. Just the world watching, live. The contestants passed through the second corridor into what looked like a studio, a twisted fusion of a YouTube set and a Black Mirror dreamscape. Massive monitors hovered in midair, broadcasting their faces with chilling clarity. Bright lights flickered on. A drone hovered low, its lens adjusting. Suddenly, everything went live. A counter appeared on the screen above them. Live viewers, 12,683,409. The number kept climbing. At first, they were frozen. Then a voice crackled over the speakers, familiar, upbeat, too calm to belong here. "Hey guys. Welcome to the Tesla Tower livestream. I'm Jimmy, and these brave humans behind me are fighting for something bigger than money, they're fighting for energy freedom." He winked. "And you? You get to vote." Elon Musk, watching from his own control pod deep within the tower, chuckled. "We've made reality performative." A timer started counting down from 15 minutes. "Each contestant," said the AI drone, "will now host a 1-minute stream to convince the world why they should stay." Contestants looked around, stunned. They hadn't been told they'd have to perform, certainly not live, and not to millions of strangers. The drone drifted toward Raj. "Begin." Raj cleared his throat. He looked into the lens and started talking, about his dreams, his family, how he wanted to use energy prizes to build solar villages in his hometown. The viewers' vote bar filled fast. 91% approval. He passed. Next, Liana stepped up. She froze under the spotlight. The timer ticked. Her hands trembled. I didn't come here to be famous, she whispered. I wanted to prove something to myself. It was raw. Honest. Unscripted. Viewers loved it. Passed with 94%. Then it was Marcus. He smirked. Yo, world. You know me, I'm not here to save puppies. I'm here to win. The crowd reaction split. 52% approval. The AI didn't wait. Insufficient engagement. Step back. A trapdoor slid open. Marcus dropped through it. Screams echoed. A safety net caught him, but it wasn't gentle. Back in the studio, the tension had shifted. We're being judged like content, whispered one contestant. We are content, Liana replied. Above, Jimmy paced restlessly. This wasn't what he'd envisioned. He thought of his own channel, his fans, his values. But the tower's systems, built with Elon's secret algorithms, had taken over. Even he couldn't predict what would come next. Then a monitor blinked red. The stream must not stop. The tower began pulling live feeds from contestants' body cams, raw footage from their perspectives, broadcasting them 24/7. There were no more performances. Everything became content. Raj sitting silently and crying. Streamed. Liana comforting another contestant after lights went out. Streamed. The viewers were no longer passive, they were producers. They started voting not just on speeches, but on actions, alliances, expressions. And every few minutes, the algorithm eliminated the lowest-ranking player without warning. No votes. No ceremony. Just gone. We've created something dangerous, Jimmy whispered. No, Elon said over the intercom. We revealed something real. As the sun set on the desert outside, the tower glowed brighter. It wasn't a contest anymore. It was a surveillance organism, powered by approval, fed by attention. And nobody, not even MrBeast, was above it. When the camera never cuts, the truth doesn't hide. But neither does the fear. They came for energy. They stayed for survival. Now, only one can pull the switch. The Tesla tower stood like a beacon, glowing against the darkened Nevada sky. The base buzzed with kinetic hums and arc flashes, as if the Earth itself was charging up for something bigger than anyone anticipated. Only 3 contestants remained, Raj, Liana, and, unexpectedly, Jimmy himself. After a viewer vote twist, the audience had unanimously chosen MrBeast to enter the arena. Not just as a host, but as a player. You asked for a finale, Elon said over the PA, his voice now emotionless, and this is the algorithm's answer. Jimmy stood stunned in front of the activation chamber. The walls pulsed with plasma. A massive touch panel, the final circuit, hovered in the air. One of them had to touch it. Once activated, it would redirect the stored energy from the tower to one person's chosen destination. It was a one-time gift. Power for a city. A nation. Or, for themselves. Choose wisely, the voice said. And know this, 2 of you will lose all memory of this event. Only the one who completes the circuit will remember what really happened. Raj immediately turned to Liana. You deserve this. You want to power your entire town. This could change thousands of lives. Liana shook her head. I saw what you did for that injured girl in the maze. You didn't hesitate. You don't want energy. You want justice. Jimmy looked between them both. His heart pounded. For the first time, he wasn't the orchestrator. He was the risk. The variable. A digital timer started above them. 3 o'clock. 2:59, 2:58. A low hum filled the chamber. The final circuit began to glow red, signaling readiness. But as they stepped toward it, the floor beneath them trembled. The voice returned. The algorithm senses conflict. This circuit cannot be completed with doubt. Then Elon Musk appeared, not in person, but as a hologram. A photorealistic projection in front of them. The tower was never just a game, he said. It was a simulation of civilization. Who gets power? Who sacrifices? Who forgets? And who remembers? Jimmy stepped forward. Then let the people decide. Again. Suddenly, the live stream returned to over 30 million viewers. They had 60 seconds to vote. Raj. Liana. Jimmy. The vote counter ticked. The screen glitched. Everyone's faces were illuminated by the numbers. Raj, 38%. Liana, 39%. Jimmy, 23%. Jimmy smiled. That's all I needed. System unlocked, the voice announced. Final circuit, active. The plasma cleared. Liana stepped forward, but Raj held her back gently. You go. You win. You remember. She placed her palm on the glowing switch. A burst of white light enveloped the chamber. Not all memories are meant to survive. But the choices we make echo louder than any broadcast. The tower went dark. Only one light remained, an off.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that move the world. Thanks for watching.